Hello, gossiper. Sharoni here. Please like, share, subscribe. Let's grow our channel. Let's get us to 3,000 subscribers. And again, welcome. So, what is beauty? And you know the saying, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So, we have this lady who took a selfie and she received thousands of comments about her appearance, and she refuses to delete the photo. Now, I'm going to show you the photo, but first, let's take a look at what beauty is. Let's look at the definition of beauty, but I'm only going to read the highlighted part. It says beauty is a complex and subjective quality that can be defined as anything that pleases the senses or the mind, or a specific characteristic within an object or person that elicits a positive emotional response like delight or calm. Let's go to the end. It says there is no single universal standard of beauty. Rather, it differs across individuals, cultures, and time periods, encompassing physical appearance, personality, actions, artistic creations, and even natural phenomena. So this is Naomie Pilula's viral selfie. She is 37 years old, and she says that she knows. Let's read what she says. She says, I am not aesthetically beautiful person. I'm not, and that's okay. She tells People exclusively. So we're going to read this article from People, and it said that she posted the selfie of herself on June 22nd, 2025. She said the post has amused over 500,000 shares and comments, drew lots of negativity about her appearance, particularly her nose. She's from Zambia, and she's a lawyer, and she's 37 years old, and she tells People why she decided to leave the post on their page. And it says she works 5 days a week, goes to church on Sundays, and enjoys getting her nails done. She loves fashion, her friends, and her family too. Like most, these everyday moments are reflected on her Instagram page, where she posts a few times a week. So imagine her surprise when a simple video about one of her favorite face masks drew comments like, is this AI? And is she using a filter? After a while, Naomie realized they were talking about her physical appearance, but it wasn't until the 37-year-old posted a selfie in June that she would be exposed to the depths of the internet's nastiness. Naomie, born and raised in Zambia, a beautiful country in the center of Africa's southern region. The youngest of 7 siblings, she tells People her understanding of beauty has changed over the years due to her lived experience. In Zambia, my home country, beauty is more the curvaceous woman, the well-endowed woman, Naomie explains. So as someone who is smaller, I was always told, eat more, fill out more. Naomie pursued higher education at the University of Queensland in Brisbane, Australia, as well as the University of Auckland in New Zealand. During her time in Australia, she shares that she was the only black person in her classes, a great departure from her community in Zambia, marking yet another complex lesson regarding desirability and beauty away from home. Growing up, she says she was particularly teased about her nose. Though her late teens and early 20s, Naomie came to appreciate her physical features, and after a while, they weren't even a thought in her mind. I do know that one of the most controversial features that I have, which is what blew up the internet, was my nose. It's my father's nose. Why would I want to remove a feature that identifies me with my father? It doesn't make sense, she ponders. I won't say that there was that day when I woke up and I looked in the mirror and said, yes, but there was just one point where you look at yourself and said, I like the way I look, she continues. And that was me. And once I arrived at that point, no one can take that away from me because they didn't give it to me. Naomie now works as a lawyer in Zambia's financial sector. She's developed her personal style, healed old wounds, and built a great life for herself. All was relatively fine until June when she received a particular comment on one of her posts that struck a nerve. I got a comment that said something about trying out rhinoplasty, she begins, and I think she caught me at a time when I was really pissed off because I had received other comments and maybe even worse comments because I had people telling me outright, you're ugly and you don't deserve to be on the internet. Naomie posted and then deleted an admittedly passive aggressive response video, opting to call her big sister for advice instead. The focus here shouldn't be on what people say because people will say what people say, but the focus here is why is it pissing you off? She recalls her sister asking her. Because another comment wouldn't have. So there's something about this that pisses you off. With her sister's words of wisdom, Naomie realized that maybe I'm not as healed as I thought I was. So this is a very lengthy story. Again, it's on People. You can go and look and read the story. But I wanted to just come on and say that from the comments I've seen on the internet, on Instagram, this is where I saw it, most of the comments were positive. So I'm not quite sure. Yes, people, and guess what? I'm not going to lie. When I first saw her, I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, whoa. If anything struck me was her age, that she was 37. She looks way older. Not age shaming, I'm just saying, right? As I said, it's a lengthy article on People, but let me just read the last few paragraphs. She said what she wants is, I really, really want people to see God. I want people to see confidence. I am not an aesthetically beautiful person. I'm not, and that's okay, she says. But I love myself, and I can be myself. And with that is a certain level of beauty because there is a light that everyone has and that deserves to be shined. I began April with 1,000 followers. We are now in August. I have 20,000 followers. So when I say that this has been insane, I really mean that it has been insane, she adds. It's not me doing anything outside of what I normally do. So I'm not trying to get anything. I'm just doing what I would normally do on social media. Like it or not, this is what I'm going to do. So that's how the article closes out, right? And apparently she has a video. Let me see if I can find her video and post.
Hi, your girl here. I'm just hopping on here to just have a chat around where my brain is. Like yesterday, I had responded to what I would term a audacious comment that I'd received on one of my videos. And so later on in the evening, I took down that video I had done as a response. And so this video now is to kind of give you a picture about where my brain is and what that was all about. So sit down, relax, and let's have a chat. So a little bit of background, right? For the last 2 months or so, I have, like, my following has grown a lot. It's doubled. It's more than doubled. And by the way, welcome on board. I love you. Let's have a great time together, right? But that has also made me exposed to a side of Instagram that I've never been exposed to. So my videos have also been exposed to audiences that I normally wouldn't be exposed to. And so one of the repercussions of that is that I have people commenting on my videos that are just plain mean. No other word to describe it but plain mean. And so the first time I got comments that I felt were mean, I was taken aback. Really, really taken aback, because it's never happened to me, and it was so new. And so I was kind of like, wait, what? What's going on? And then I quickly moved from being like shocked about it, and then being kind of like, but that's just so mean. Like, why would you do that to another human being? Like, that's just mean, right? So I moved from shock to that. And I think that response is also part of shock. And then I moved from that to anger. Somewhere along the lines, I decided, hey, it's my page. It's my post. So in as much as you can't control what people say on a normal basis, at the very least, I can control where they say it. So if you're going to say it on my page or on my post, I'm going to delete it. So, I started deleting, whichever comments that I felt was mean. And then I quickly became tired of that because, fam, I do work. And I do have a life outside of Instagram, so I really did not have the time or the energy to start responding to all those posts or deleting them or things like that. So that didn't live long. And so in my moments of being angry, I did respond to one of those comments, and I posted it. And, you know, my lovely people came to my defense about that, which was wonderful and great. And thank you so much. It really restored my faith in the goodness of people who are majority or a majority follow me. So great. But I took it down. And the reason why I took it down was partly because after a conversation I had with my sister, and so I was telling her about it, and she was just asking me a very simple question. She was just like, you know what? And she was reminding me, she's like, you know, you can't control what people say. And that's true. That's true across board. You can never control what people say, right? But what it triggers in you and your response to what people are saying is just a mirror to help you to see what is in you. And so she was just asking me like, okay, yes, you're pissed off about this, but what exactly is pissing you off? Like, what exactly is this unearthing in you? Can you have a sit down with yourself and find out? So that's what I did. I sat down with myself and I was trying to figure it out, like what's going on around this. Like, don't get me wrong, like if people like say something mean to you, it's natural to be upset, but it's also good to also know what exactly about what they've said have upset you, because there's some things that people say that are mean, right? And it's mean, but then it will like brush over your head because it's like totally inconsequential. But then there are other things that just like hit home. And so those are the things you have to like sit down and say, wait, why is this hitting home? And so that's what I did. And, you know, when it comes to appearance and stuff, like I grew up having a lot of comments around my appearance, my nose, other features of my face, other features of my body. And so I was very insecure about my appearance for a very long time. And then thank the Lord, I started liking myself. Not just loving myself, like I actually started liking myself, and I started liking exactly how I'm made. So that was a great, and that was a long journey, but a great journey as well. And then you get these comments, right, concerning my face and my features and other things. And so I had to sit down and say, okay, God, what is going on here? What is this? What's happening here? And then just seeing like even in like getting upset and making a video about it, and having a conversation with my sister. I feel like God just clocked me and said, Ish, I think you need to sit down, because this is bigger than what you are making it, or this is more serious than what it could be. Yes, people are mean. Yes, you can ignore them and stuff like that. But it identified like for me, it helped me identify a bigger problem or a bigger concern. And I think it's a concern that we should all have. And what do I mean by this? I think that it's very easy, and I've been guilty of this. I think it's very easy to, especially in this world of social media, to look at people's videos and posts and stuff like that, and respond with derogatory marks, or even if you don't, some of us don't even post it, but we'll think it and do that, and not respond, or we just laugh on our own. But I was reminded of the scripture about how we were woven together in our mother's womb, right? And the fact that God saw us even before we were created. Like he's the one who knit us together. And so that tells me that every intricate detail of even my features was something that God put thought and time into, right, to create, and not just mine, but every single living person on this earth. He did that. And so I sat down, and it dawned on me that by laughing at a person, by laughing at what has been created, aren't you in essence laughing at the creator? Yes, my features are, a mixture of my mother and my father and other, distant generations back. And so I carry their features because they are my blood. But again, God was the one who orchestrated the fact that I'll get my father's nose and his eyebrows, and his mouth. Actually, a lot of my features are from my dad, and all that jazz. He's the one who orchestrated all that. And so if anyone were to have an issue with that, it comforted me, in the sense that it's not a issue around, like, you don't have an issue with me. You have an issue with God who created me. And so that also that's a comforting thought in terms of me being, commented on. But it's a scary thought for the people who are commenting, because, and this video, I'm not even expecting this to really change anyone's behavior, because people will be what they want to be. Again, this is just a mental dump for you to kind of figure out where my brain is in this. And so it's scary to think that as a human being, I've got the audacity, and it is audacity. I've got the audacity to laugh at God. Like, this is God. This is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, creator of the universe, Alpha and Omega, omniscient, omnipotent, all powerful, all knowing. This God who is God alone, who no one can compare to and nothing can compare. This God who is uncreated. He was there before time began, and everything like that. This God, me, who is human being and nothing in his eyes, I'm laughing at him. That is scary.
So you heard what Naomi had to say. What are your thoughts? For me, growing up, I remember as a young girl, for me personally, I did not like my nose. Yes, I did not like my nose. I thought my nose was flat. And if you don't know what I look like, I did a couple videos where I show myself. So, you could go back. I hope to show myself more. But for me, I am not happy with the way I look, in the sense that I gained a lot of weight. And I know that shouldn't stop you from, showing who you are and, you're a good person. But then, like Naomi says, you have to believe in yourself. You have to love yourself to not care what others think. Anyways, so when I was young, I thought my nose was flat. And I used to complain, growing up. And when I say I was young, I was under 11. I was under 12, 11. So yeah, it was young. And the thing is, I don't remember ever being teased about my nose. And that's the thing. I'm trying to remember, why did I not like my nose? Now, the standard of beauty, a lot of people will say it's, the European look, that straight nose and thin face and, everything like that. But to be honest with you, I don't remember if that is where it came from. I don't remember being teased about my nose. So, as I said, I'm not quite sure. I just knew that I did go through a phase where I think my nose was flat. Now, come to this day in life, years now has passed. I couldn't care less. I love my nose. I love my nose. It fits my face. I'm a cute girl, okay? Or cute woman. Anyways, but yes, we all have something that we're not I don't want to say a fan of when we look at ourselves, right? We are our own worst critic when we look at ourselves in the mirror and to pinpoint out. And like Naomi said, you have to learn how to love yourself. You have to learn how to look past what other people are thinking, because they're not with you. They're not living your life. They're not the ones, waking up with you or telling you you love them or anything like that. They're not a part of your life. So why would you make strangers make you feel so down? And again, a lot of people say, the European looks, and as black people, we have features that stands out and bigger and this and that. And so what? You just have to love yourself. Learn how to love yourself. And, good luck to Naomi. She's an attorney. All right, so she's making money. And you see, she went to school in Australia and where else? New Zealand, I think. And look what she did. She went back to her country of birth to practice the law. That's someone who's given back to their country, their community. So she is that kind, good-hearted person to do that. And she'll be fine. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie, first time I saw her picture, I was like, wow. But then for me, it was the age thing, 37. I guess because I'm approaching that, half a century number. I've never said that in person. I've never said that out in public. But, it just makes you, just wonder life. Life is just so, ugh. Anyways, gossipers, what are your thoughts? Again, please like, share, subscribe. Be you, love you, surround yourself with supporters, people who love you, only want the best for you. And yeah, gossipers, please comment.